Good morning everyone. My name is Harisha and I am pursuing BCA from Gujarat College of Computer Application and I am Internet Coder and Technology. I am here to introduce the topic of software documentation as a part of my internship curriculum. So today we are discuss about these topics. First is what is software documentation. Second is why is it important. Third is the purpose of documentation, part of SDLC, types of documentation, how to create a software documentation and their benefits, and last we will discuss about the tools. So let's start with the first topic is what is software documentation. So the software documentation is a written form of information that explains how to use or understand the software program. Documentation plays a very important role in the software development lifecycle. It provides information for developers on how the program is built and how to maintain and improve it. It includes various types of documentations like user guides, API reference, code comments, etc. Code documentation is like a guidebook for the developers and users. It provides information about how to build a software and how it works. So next topic is why is it important. Let's learn with the example. Let's learn with the example and take a first example of a BlackBerry. Once a BlackBerry was a giant company in the market, known for their security in their devices. But between 2000 to 2010, the company faced rapidly losses because the competitors introduced more consumer-friendly devices. And during that period, the developers of BlackBerry starting leaving from the job the company, and company hires new employee but they don't have any proper documentation of their code. That's why the company rapidly down. The BlackBerry was once a dominated force in the smartphone market, particularly in the business and enterprise segments. However, the company faced a rapid decline in the late 2000s and early 2000s as the competitors introduced more consumer-friendly smartphones. While BlackBerry devices were known for their security and productivity features, the platform suffered from a lack of developers, documentation, and support. This hindered the growth of the BlackBerry app world ecosystem and limited the availability of third-party apps, ultimately contributing to BlackBerry's loss of market shares. Let's take a next example is Netscape. So on early days of internet, Netscape built a web browser, but they don't have any proper documentation for their code to contribute to the project in the market. But they don't have any proper documentation for their code to contribute to the new developers, contribute to the project in the market against competition like Microsoft Internet Explorer. Just because of not having proper documentation, Netscape failed the project of their browser. And next topic is the purpose of the software documentation. The purpose of the software documentation is to provide users with the information they need to effectively use and understand the software. It can also be used by developers as a reference when modifying or updating the project. For example, if any employee of the company can leave the job on a running project, then company hired a new employee. Then documentation is helped to him to understand the project from scratch. So without documentation we cannot develop the project or a software. So this is very important thing in develop the project. So The next topic is a part of SDLC, software development life cycle. As we all know, the software development life cycle, SDLC stands for software development life cycle. Software documentation is not a phase of SDLC; it is a part of a SDLC. Means documentation is created in every phase of SDLC. So the documentation is not a part of not a phase of SDLC. It is a part of the SDLC. It has to be documented throughout the whole development process of the project. It includes everything from initial requirements to testing, user manual, API, etc. So it is not just a specific phase of SDLC, it is the whole part. SDLC contains 8 phases. First is a requirement analysis, second planning, third software design, coding, implementation, testing, development and maintenance. So the documentation is a part of the SDLC. We are now going to discuss about the types of software documentation. There are multiple developers are in industry, like a front-end developer, back-end developer or a database developer. The documentation helps to them develop their projects. So there are multiple types of documentation according to respective their multiple developers. There are 3 major types of documentation. First is a system documentation, second is a technical documentation, third is a user documentation. System documentation has subcomponent of documentation, requirement documentation, database documentation. Technical documentation has content code documentation, API documentation and testing documentation. User documentation had user manuals and just-in-time documentation. So we are going to take a first documentation is a system documentation. So system documentation for software refers to the collection of documents that provide information about the software system. The purpose of system documentation is to ensure that everyone involved in the software development process has a clear understanding of how the system works and how to interact with. The first subcomponent is a requirement documentation. A software requirement specification is a document that describes what the software will do and how it will be expected to perform. Requirement documentation specifies the requirements or needs of the software system. The required documentation also specifies the user requirement or system requirement. So here is the example of requirement documentation. The next subcomponent is the database documentation. So database documentation refers to the process of documenting the structure, design and usage database system. It serves as a reference guide for developers and other stakeholders. The purpose of database documentation is to provide a clear understanding of how the database is organized, what data it contains and how it can be accessed. You can clearly see the example of right side the slide. Database documentation. So the next major component is the technical documentation. So the technical documentation is also called as a developer documentation. Is specified created to the developer documentation. So technical documentation is a document that describes a software product's use or microservice architecture. It is a collection of detailed materials that provides information about the software architecture, functionality, code base, and usage instructions. Before creating the technical documentation, we must identify the audience and determine the scope of the project. For example, front-end developer needs the design of the design documentation. They don't need any backend related documentation. So the technical documentation usually used by the front-end developer, back-end developer, or a database developer. Their first sub-component is a API documentation. API documentation is a documentation that provides information about how to use a software library or API effectively. It is an important resource for a developer who are working with a particular API, as it helps them understand how to use it effectively in their code. This documentation this documentation is usually created by a backend developer. So the backend developer is use API documentation. Front-end developer not need to API documentation. So the second subcomponent is a core documentation. So core documentation is a way to describe and explain your code to make it easier for others to understand and work with it. It provides information about what the code does, how it works, and how to use it. Core documentation helps developers understand how to use and modify your code. Here is the example of a core documentation. We can create a core documentation in a certain format. Then third subcomponent is a testing documentation. So testing documentation refers to the process of documenting the various aspects of software testing. It involves creating detailed records and reports that capture information about the testing activities, test cases, and test results. Testing documentation is the documental representation or resulting artifacts of different processes used for the product testing phase. So here are the example of testing documentation. Testing documentation includes test cases, test result, and test activities. So this documentation is created by testers. So the third major component is a user documentation. This documentation is usually delivered to the end user who wants to use our product themselves. User documentation helps users to understand the flow of a project, complete guidance, and make it easy to interact with the product. It includes user manuals, tutorials, and FAQs to help users understand the software's features and functionality. So their first subcomponent is the user manual. A user manual designed for end users to use a product or service properly or find solutions to problems that arise through use. User manuals contain detailed instructions for the user and help them while troubleshooting. It also contains a detailed explanation of the major functionalities of the product. It is used as a reference book of the product for the user. So you can see the example of a user manual in the right side of slide. So the second subcomponent is a just-in-time documentation. So the just-in-time documentation helps users to solve the problems that occur during regular use. This documentation is generated after solving the problem and then complete a guide on what the problem is, why did it occur, and how to solve it. So this documentation is usually created for the users when any error is generated. Then this documentation is helped to them. So this is the example of just-in-time documentation. Now we are going to the next topic is how to create a software documentation. You can create a proper documentation with use of these 8 steps. So the first step of the how to create a software documentation is understand the audience and purpose. So the identify who will be using the documentation, for example, developers, testers, users, and the purpose of each documentation, and create the content and level of detail accordingly. So the second step is to gather requirements. So the collect requirements from stakeholders to determine what needs to be documented, understand the functionalities, features and expectations of the software. Third step is to choose documentation tool. Select appropriate tool for documentation based on the types of the content. For example, Gitbook, Document 360, Teams, Microsoft Word, etc. So the fourth step is to plan document structure. Before going into writing plan, the structure of your document, this includes deciding on chapters, headings and subheadings based on the content you want to cover. So the fifth step is write content. Start writing the content based on the outlined structure. Use a clear and concise language. Include relevant flowcharts, examples, diagrams, screenshot to understand. Ensure consistency in formatting and style throughout the document. Then the sixth step is to version control. Use a version control system to manage changes to the documentation, track revisions and maintain a history of updates for reference. Seventh step is to update and maintain. Regularly update the documentation to reflect changes in the software such as new features, bug fixes. Establish a process for maintaining or updating the documentation to ensure its relevance and accuracy over the time. So the eighth step is to publish and distribute. Once you have completed your documentation, publish it in a format accessible to your user. This could be a PDF file, an online HTML version, or hosted on a documentation platform like Read the Docs or Gitbook. So now we are discuss about the benefits of software documentation. So the first benefit of software documentation is software documentation helps developers, testers and other stakeholders understand the software system better. When new developers join a project or team, documentation helps them quickly get up to speed with the existing code base. Third benefit is documentation provides guidance on resolving common issues or errors, speeding up the troubleshooting process. Fourth benefit is it facilitate effective communication among team members, stakeholders and users by providing a common reference point for discussing features, requirements and changes. So the last benefit is a clear documentation makes it easier for users to learn and operate the software efficiently. So now we are going to discuss about the manual tools and automated tools. You can use these tools to create a software documentation. There are divided into two parts: manual documentation, manual tools, and automated tools. So we are going to discuss about the manual tools. So the first manual tool is a Confluence. So Confluence is a popular collaboration software developed by Atlassian. Confluence is commonly used for creating and maintaining documentation, including project plans, technical specifications, user guides, and API reference. Confluence automatically tracks changes to pages, providing a version history that allows user to view and compare. So there is the example of Confluence, and you can create the manual documentation to use the Confluence tool. The second manual tool is a Gitbook. So Gitbook is a powerful documentation platform that allows you to create, manage and publish your documentation in a user-friendly way. Gitbook also provides a user-friendly interface for editing and organizing your documentation. In Gitbook, you can publish it as a website or export it as a PDF or a ebook format. It also provides a hosting option. So there is the example of a Gitbook, and you can create a documentation with use of a Gitbook. So the third manual tool is a Document 360. So the Document 360 is the knowledge base and a documentation platform designed to help businesses create, manage and share their product documentation and user guides. Document 360 offers a user-friendly editor for creating and formatting documentation, content. Users and easily add text, images, videos, code snippets, tables and etc. So this is the example of a Document 360, and you can implement your software documentation in Document 360. Now we are discuss about the automated tool. These tools are automated generated. These tools are generated automatic software documentation. So the Sphinx first automated tool is a Sphinx. So Sphinx is a documentation generated tool that helps developers create a high quality documentation for software projects. It's particularly popular in the Python community. One of Sphinx's most powerful features is its ability to automatically generate API documentation from source code comments by using special syntax in comments. For example, destructured text or Sphinx specific directives. You can create the automatic software documentation to use of their specific comments. So the next automatic tool is Doxygen. So the Doxygen is a documentation generator tool used to generate a documentation from source code. Doxygen is a tool that generates documentation from source code, supporting various programming languages like C++, Java, Python, and it can be generated in various formats like HTML, LaTeX, RTF, and XML. So the example of Doxygen. So here is the example of Doxygen, and you can create automatic software documentation in a proper way. And thank you. At end of presentation, ask them. I will be taking up a question now. Please drop your question in live chat. I will be answering them. I will give you 5 minutes to drop your